Malik, any word from Pritchard yet?
I'm right here, Jensen, staring at a blueprint of the Taiyang Medical Building.
Great. I need access to a security terminal in the Upper City Tower.
You do realize there's an entire skyline between you and it, don't you?
I know. The Pangu. Any idea how I get to it?
I suggest you start by going up.
Access granted.
You! Help! I need help! Please! The regulator machine is shorted out, causing a toxic gas leak. I tried to get... but I'm stuck in here. I couldn't...
Enough with the play-by-play. What do you need?
There's a valve in the next room. You have to close it.
I'll see what I can do.
Oh, thank God. Please hurry. I don't know how
Access granted.
You saved my life. How can I repay you?
You can give me some directions.
To where?
I need to get to the upper tower.
You must use the elevator pass to cryosterilization room. But unauthorized personnel aren't allowed up there. But Kim is the guard on duty today. He owes me a favor. Just tell him Lee sent you, and he should let you through.
Much appreciated, my friend.
The least I can do.
Where do you think you're going, buddy? This is a restricted area.
Lee didn't warn me that I might be refused entry. I guess he figured you'd remember the favor you owe him and let me by.
Right, look. I'll let you pass because I do owe him. But watch out for the security systems. If you get detected, I have no choice but to take you out.
Fair enough.
I'm filing report.
So here we're inside the Taiyang Medical vertical assembly line thing, and at this point we're seeing kind of like that pool thing where they're putting the finished products, the finished augmentations in it. A super cool idea that we had, but we weren't able to execute it. We had to cut it out. Was because this is an assembly, a manufacturing plant. Exactly. That's vertical because it's a skyscraper in it, which kind of makes no sense. If you look at all the assembly factories in the world, they're all flat buildings that are really, really long and large with a big footprint because basically they have those.
They're taking a lot of real estate.
Yeah, they're having those long assembly lines basically. Yeah. So we kind of sat down and we said, how's that going to work in a building? So we had like this huge shaft at one point that was. Probably like, I don't know, like dozens and dozens of stories high. and we had a whole vertical assembly line, and we had the whole mechanical thing working.
we were
with the
navigating
arms.
through
We had
this.
to navigate through it, and you had like those robot arms that were like going up and like soldering things, and then crates coming out and blah blah blah. Like
It
you
was
know,
coming alive at some point.
it was
like.
totally coming alive, but it's just I think the problem was at the level design standpoint. It was really kind of awkward to navigate and not all that fun. So
And not only
we
that,
just,
the map turned out to be much bigger than what we
Yeah.
expected in the first
yeah, we
place.
had like so much other, a lot of other parts, areas, and everything in that lower part of TYM. So we just needed to
And
cut
in
down.
this one, we had much less storytelling.
On top of that,
And that was the one that if we were to cut it, it would have the less effect.
Access granted. Access granted.
Pritchard, I'm in an elevator leading to the Pangu. Any security features I should know about ahead?
Nothing too taxing, I suspect. The Pangus use mostly for maintenance and storage. Look for a second elevator once you're there. It'll carry you straight into the tower.
so this is a pretty funny place because in the entire game, I think we have like 2 elevators where there's stuff in it. So we can see here there's like crates and pallets and stuff like that, and that's about it. I think there's only one other, and I don't know why we did that. I
No,
mean,
we had the restrictions.
Did
Even
we?
Like with the bodies of NPCs and stuff, it was complicated to.
I remember one moment where we were thinking to put like a force field in front of elevators so no physical objects will go in them. And then this is when you have a crazy idea, then you go see your like the game director and say we have to do that because of this and that, and then you know that it breaks the immersion. But we had
And you know that
And,
the game director
and you
will
know
say
the
no.
game
And
director
then
is
listen
looking at
also,
you with
we-
evil eyes.
so sometimes we know that we'll find solution with the physics programmer that spend I don't know lots of time working on fixing, bringing ragdolls like
But
dead
now it-
bodies and crates in the
But
elevator.
it ended up working. We can bring bodies in the elevator.
It
right?
works.
Yeah.
Just the problem we said no NPC will wake up on a different floor.
So instead of making the rest of us unhappy, we just made the physics programmer unhappy.
Exactly.
Okay, not too bad.
Damn, if I knew.
Jensen, what is it you're looking for exactly?
Some kind of surveillance recording. Van Bruggen said he stashed it on a server somewhere.
He must have meant the data core room. Very high security. It'll be a couple of floors up from where the elevator lets you off. But the first corridors you'll pass through will be public, so you might want to keep any weapons concealed.
Copy that.
Okay, so here we have a nice vista of Upper Angsha, seen through, obviously, Upper Taiyang Medical Building. It's a bit of a sad thing. I mean, it looks really, really good. However, we used to be able to, walk through
Actually
go see it,
Like, so we had to cut it.
like you've probably heard in other of these little beacons that you've been listening to, we've talked about the fact that we cut that city hub that was the Upper Hangsha thing. So literally what you're looking at now would have been something that was an entire city hub. And what kind of sucks about it is that that was the most kind of conceptual, kind of architectural place, or the eco-architecture. Everything was, we've made a lot of research based on how, building is going to be built in the future, and how kind of a lot of gardens and a lot of greenery, if you want, how it's going to be integrated in water recycling and all that kind of stuff, and electrical transportation and whatnot. And this was really, really cool. And
And if I remember
on top of that, we had
a whole university.
University
There was a
because
university.
what we were saying, that Lower Angsha was the blue collars and stuff. And,
That's so true.
And on the Upper Angsha, it was all about the university,
it was
the
brains,
scientists, the brains,
scientists,
and things like that.
The guys working in the Upper Taiyang Medical.
Exactly,
basically.
and also with the universities, there were supposed to be a lot of students, and
Yeah.
apparently, because the game happens roughly during fall time.
Yes.
And apparently
a
in China,
holiday.
there was kind of a holiday or a celebration
It was-
with the people there, and you were supposed to go in Upper Angsha with the kind of the flyers and the decoration for that kind of
We
celebration.
had the whole thing set up.
Yeah,
It was
it
amazing.
was.
We had different cars. Remember,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had invented a whole car that was parking itself by stacking together, like all like lifting themselves and just like everything, like the fire hydrants were different. Like it was so well thought out. There was a little park for children.
Yeah,
And
we had the
um,
huge plaza that we were seeing the entire
Oh yeah,
city,
because
like,
the idea was
vista
like it was like rice
breathtaking.
patties, like
Yeah.
the staircase style rice patties was built around that idea, and you had the building in the middle, and the sunset, and it was just basking in sunlight. It was the whole idea that this was burning like Icarus, because this was the epitome of transhumanism type of thing.
And I remember being
I'm a-
secretly
we might cry.
very relieved when we cut it, because I didn't know about all that, the wonderful thought that had gone into the whole festival and all that, and all I was looking at was like, how are we going to write enough lines of dialogue to
for all
cover
of
all
that.
this, and the elevator as a big airport type terminal.
Yeah,
how are we
the
going to
elevator
do
to
that?
go back down
And I
was like
remember
a
hearing
terminal,
about
that's
it
true.
and going, "Oh my God, I can't write all that." And so I secretly.
But all
was
the
relieved.
art was finished. This is what was crazy.
yeah.
Like
It was a really
artistically,
beautiful
it was
map.
like 80%
Yeah.
finished. So I would say that the biggest heartbroken dude was me with all this, and the artist who obviously had built this map, because artistically it was almost finished.
Absolutely,
And it was really one of the
But-
gems of the
yeah,
game.
Yeah, but it was one in terms of exploiting it to its fullest. was probably the weakest.
The
one
weak
of,
in
the
ter-
weakest
yeah,
one of the entire game.
global experience
Yes,
was weak.
yeah. So it made sense.
Yeah.
Still.
I don't understand why we are going to distribute a biochip that we didn't design ourselves. We just gotta keep working and meet our deadlines. I know, but I don't understand why we are going to distribute a biochip that we didn't design ourselves. Questioning it is a waste of time. All I know is the shipping department thinks this should be accepted, so that's what we're going to do.
So here's another good example of, I've been repeating this a few times, of taking a place that's like a location genre, if you want, that's extremely commonplace in video games. For example, here, a laboratory, and give it a new spin. It's very easy to make them look kind of all the same and not really generate lots of flavor or ways for the place to be memorable. So here's the idea. You have this lab with this very kind of modern, contemporary lighting fixtures and installation on the ceiling, and also a bit of the way that the walls are designed and whatnot. That's a lot of what we tried to do, and it just makes you remember them a little more, hopefully.
Successfully purchased rival corporation N-Protec of Scotland.
We've been getting a lot of complaints about the temperature in the data core room.
Too hot?
No, too cold. I think there's too much air coming in from one of the vents.
I have it checked out.